I finally got to see a movie I've been wanting to see for a long time. It was released and it was never available on streaming services, but I finally saw that it was available, and my wife reminded me because I saw it was available like late at night and I didn't want to start watching it on one day and finish it on another, so she reminded me like last night or 2 nights ago that we had never gone back and watched it. But the movie based on the musical Dear Evan Hansen, I finally saw it. The movie was available on a free streaming service, so I went and watched it. Of course, it's something I wanted to watch, so my wife wasn't that interested in it. She was scrolling through her phone or whatever. It's a musical, so, you know, that probably didn't excite her too much. It's more my thing than hers. I don't even know what to say about that movie. I was really, really looking forward to it, so I went in with high hopes, and I think that kind of hurt me. Because I was waiting for it to get excellent, and it really never was excellent. I was just aware of the music from the musical before I watched it, long before I watched it, actually. So when it got to that part where the famous song is sung in the movie, there's still an hour left, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna get... Like, I knew the basic premise of the movie before I started watching it, so I knew when the stuff started happening, like, oh, that's right. I knew the basic synopsis, not the exact twists and turns or whatever. So when it got to the part where he's singing on the stage about the quote-unquote friend, and there was an hour left, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is gonna happen? And then I kind of realized, I'm like, oh yeah, I bet it's gonna be this and this and this, and it was kind of predictable, blah blah blah, whatever. It was just a matter of who's gonna do what. I actually spent most of the movie seeing the story through different people's eyes. You know, there's the main character, Evan Hansen, and then there's the guy Connor, and then there's the sister, whatever her name was, and then there's the parents. And there's a lot of stuff going on in that movie. I was just doing my normal thing, like trying to see what everyone's thinking. Like, there's always conflict of, you know, there's always conflict in movies. But I was gauging the conflict based on how each individual person was perceiving things and responding to things and reacting to things. I don't know. It was not as great a movie as I thought it would be, but it gave me a chance to kind of empathize with different characters in a movie and the way they were portrayed in the movie. I was kind of surprised at the end because Evan Hansen's mom, she surprised me. I had never actually taken the time to see the story through her point of view. You know, I was seeing it through Evan's point of view, I was seeing it through Connor's point of view, I was seeing it through Connor's sister's point of view, whatever her name is. I was seeing it through even Connor's parents' point of view. But I never actually realized or took the time to think about it from Evan Hansen's mother's point of view. And then there's a scene at the end where she's talking to him alone and they're talking about things, and I'm like, oh, I should have discovered I never just, I mean, it wasn't like a out of left field way of thinking. It's just, there's so much other stuff going on with all the other characters. I didn't really think about it from her perspective. So when they had that conversation, and I started seeing this story through her eyes, I was like, she's not the bad guy she's made out to be in that movie. Not that she's a bad guy, but, you know, they make it seem like she's making mistakes, and it's like, no, if you see it from her perspective, she's doing all the right things. It's a very interesting movie if you want to study the character development, but the story is kind of predictable. So watch it at your own risk. Hopefully I was able to discuss it without spoiling the movie for you. But it's worth a watch. The music is good. Where am I going here? Not Nogales. Okay, good.